Kia ora te whānau. It's Jackie and Caleb here from Tekotiri. Welcome back to our YouTube channel. It's been a while since we have recorded a video to give you understanding of our background and who we are. With all of our new subscribers, we thought it would be a good opportunity to reintroduce ourselves, tell you a little bit about us and who we are, our values, what we're passionate about. Let's get into it.
Nice. Tēnā koutou e te whānau, ko Caleb Tekotiri Kutia tōku ingoa, he uri ahau no Ngāti Parau me Ngāti Konohi. I tipu aki ahau ki te mata Māui, no reira kua haerea, I haerea ahau ki te kāreti o te aute. E mahi ana ahau ki roto i te taua moana o Aotearoa, e noho ana ina nei ki tāmaki makaurau, no reira. Tēnā koutou katoa. Kia ora everybody, my name's Caleb, for those who don't know me already. I am a descendant from Ngāti Parau and Ngāti Konohi. On my mother's side, she's from Ruatoria, Tikitiki, and my dad's from Whangara. My blood runs all the way down the east coast. Yeah, I was brought up in a little place, well a big place actually, called Otane, a small community in the Central Hawke's Bay, where I spent pretty much most of my life. All the way from when I was a baby right up to I left kura. I attended Te Aute College and left from 2009 and left there 2013, which I then made my way to Gisborne for a little bit. My whānau moved back home to Gizzy, and then 2014 I joined the Navy and have been there ever since. Kia ora.
Kia ora anō e te whānau, ko Jackie Kutia tōku ingoa, he uri ahau no Ngāpui. Kia ora everyone, my name is Jackie Kutia. My maiden name is Jackie Moses, Jackie Danielle Moses. I hail from the mighty far north Hokianga. I was born in a small township called Rawene, which is semi-ish top of the North Island. However, I grew up in Tāmaki Makaurau, Auckland, pretty much most of my life. In terms of my schooling, I was brought up in Manirewa, out in the south side, attended Clayton Park, Levac Intermediate, and then finally made my way to Te Kapunga, a part of Pūtake, Te Wahanga Māori at James Cook High School. Yeah, I've done my dash around a few other places, moved to Australia a couple of times, stayed in Sydney and Brisbane with whānau, before finally making my way back to Tāmaki and meeting the love of my life. In terms of my career, I didn't really know what I wanted to do when I was little. I remember distinctively speaking to our career manager at high school, who sat me down and basically said, what are the things that make you happy? What are you passionate about? And for me, it was simply making people smile. And then, yeah, we looked at, I guess, what was available. I did want to go to university and follow in my sister's footsteps. And something that really sprung out to me was event management. So I decided to pursue a double degree in business management and event management at AUT University, which I really enjoyed. And during that time, I also was able to work. So I started off at the age of 14 working for Mum at Gilmore's Mount Roskill. It was really cool to be able to get that experience at a very young age, to be liaising with customers and like cash handling and checkout operator, and earning a bit of kutia to help Mum put kai on the table. It was actually really rewarding for me, and I think that testament of working hard from such a young age has really stuck with me throughout my life, and something that I'm really proud of. So I pursued that event management, graduated in 2015 I think it was, and yeah, I've been in the event management industry ever since. I started off as an events coordinator. Actually before that I was serving tables at Villa Maria, doing weddings and things on the weekend before becoming an events coordinator and then an event manager. So that happened whilst I met my darling. He really helped to, I guess, allow me to see my full potential and go after the things that I was really scared about, which was going for the promotion and going to the manager level. So yeah, I really love that space. I love putting on experiences. I love making people happy, and yeah, really enjoying what I'm doing currently.
My resume te whānau isn't as decorated as my darling's. I pretty much left kura and went straight to the Navy. No, actually, rewind. I did a few months at a company called working for a company called Leaderbrand. They do like a whole lot of veggies and stuff here at here in Aotearoa, New Zealand. So my first job was a retort operator. I don't know if they do that anymore. Essentially what it was, they're just kind of giant ovens. There was two guys, me and obviously one other guy, and I was on the night shift, so 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. Heinous hours. Pay was good though, but it was more, I guess, about that work experience because I had never worked a day in my life, to be honest. Yeah, did that for a couple months. Went kind of back and forth between different jobs there, and then in May, I think it was, I can't remember, it's been a while now, I left Gisborne, flew up to Auckland, walked through the Navy gates, did 13 weeks of basic training, graduated in August maybe, I can't remember, I should really know all of this stuff, but yeah, graduated. And then
what was your trade?
I joined the Navy as a electronic warfare specialist. I wanted to be an electronic technician, but I scored under for the maths. So they gave me the option of going back the following intake to try again as an ET, or I could go in the current intake but go in as something else. So I chose that. Did that for about 3 years, got promoted to an able rank, and then after that I had a bit of a, what would you call it, identity shift. I wasn't really enjoying what I was doing. Thought that maybe I could do a bit more. I don't know. I was young back then, so I probably didn't even know half the things I wanted, to be honest. I told my parents and I said I'm looking at leaving. What do you recommend? And I've had a few whānau who served in the Navy as well. My koro, my grandfather on my dad's side, 2 of my uncles and one of my aunties on dad's side. Following down there, then it was my sister who joined. She was actually the catalyst behind why I joined the Navy. I went to her graduation parade, pretty much turned to my mum and I said, yep, this is what I want to do. So my whole last year of kura was just basically getting me ready to go to the Navy. And then not long after me, my brother joined. So yeah, all of my siblings have been in the Navy or have served in the Navy as well. Currently I'm the only one left. Anyway, back to the crisis, identity shift. I wanted to leave and my uncle got word of it and he pretty much said, has he thought about going to the marae? So I was like, I didn't even know that was a thing. Went to the marae for a kapa's practice and just so happened they were learning a song that we sung at kura. I knew how to play it on a guitar. So for my first practice ever going to kapa's, I ended up teaching everyone that waiata, playing the song, and that was kind of my shoe-in to that side of the Navy. And I've pretty much been there ever since. I've done a lot of overseas kaupapa, a lot of commemorations, remembrance of our soldiers who fought overseas. My first trip was to Gallipoli for Anzac Day. I then went to France for the Battle of Lucanois, and then went to Belgium. I can't remember what that one was for. And I've also gone to Italy for the Battle of Monte Cassino. And
you're so fancy.
And my most recent one was a trip over to the islands where me and 3 others were posted to a ship to pretty much assist with their kapahaka group, create one, come up with the items, and help them perform those waiata and songs in different, I guess, events that were being held over in the islands. So
no,
yeah.
Your recent one was London.
Oh, sorry, yes, my most recent one was actually Late Queen's Jubilee. 75th Jubilee. So yeah, that was awesome. Pretty much that's been my career. I've very much been in the cultural space for a very long time, which helped me move into where I want to go in the future.
I love how he says that his experience is not as decorated as mine, but he's literally travelled all over the world and done all of these awesome once in a lifetime experiences.
Yeah, my career in the Navy is very different, very, very different to a lot of my other friends who have travelled all overseas, but more so in their job. A lot of the mahi that I did in terms of commemorations weren't part of my trade. It was because I knew how to play guitar. So I was the guitarist for our kapahaka group, and that's why I was able to go to all of these places. So whānau, hey, if you know how to play guitar, maybe join the services to take you places.
Top tip. Just while we're talking about careers, One thing, as you may see, is I am hapu, and we are 30 weeks today, actually, which is very exciting. So we have my last day at mihi is the 26th of July. We're currently the 20-something of May, so not too long to go. But one thing that I am not struggling with, but one thing that I did initially find quite interesting was that career shift, or that mind shift, going from career to being a mama and to parenthood. I think when you have worked since you were 14 and career has been such a huge focus for you as a wahine, as a woman, it can be quite, just different, I guess, to put yourself in a mind shift, in a headspace that, you know, you'll be taking a step back on that career goal. And it doesn't mean that, it's not something that I'll be investing time into in the future, but for right now, it's taking a step out of that role and then stepping into parenthood. So we will be bringing out another video where we'll be talking more about parenthood and doing a bit of unboxing of a few things that we purchased yesterday. That's just one thing that I found quite, I guess, interesting is the word, is just that mental shift and going through that as a hapu mama.
Firstly, the thing I value the most is my darling. She is number one. That is it. No matter who it is or what it is, my darling is number one, hands down. So whenever she needs me, whenever she needs my support, my aroha, she might need a word from me every now and then, just anything, I am at my darling's service. That is the sole job of me as a husband. That's the sole job of me as a tāne in today's society, is to look after her and make sure that she feels safe, she feels protected, and that she can rely on me. So. So what? But so my darling is number one. Once Pepe gets here, my darling is still number one. Okay? But pretty much within Pacific culture, whānau is the core of everything that we do. Everything. Literally everything. It doesn't matter what it is, whether you're a cook, whether you play rugby, whether you are a lawyer, if you're a doctor, or whatever, you're an artist, you're a mechanic. Everything you do is for the betterment of your whānau. Everything your whānau does is for the betterment of your community, and everything your community does is for the betterment of your iwi, or your tribe. And so it's just this giant ongoing cycle that whatever you do is to contribute towards, I guess, society, and to just make as positive of a change as you can. What I value the most is definitely my darling and my little whānau. Whatever I can do to help support that, and to be a good role model, and to show all of those qualities that a good, strong male should have, then that's my role. And whether it be through maurako, whether it be through whakairo, whether it be through any other means, just keeping my house tidy, because that's part of it as well. Just little things, the little mundane things, all of that sort of stuff. To be a good role model for my children, and to support and tautoko my wife. That is the number one thing I value the most in this life. Not trying to get brownie points or anything. That's straight up.
Do you want a brownie after this? Do you want a carrot cake?
That's the one thing I don't value, is carrot cake.
I love carrot cake.
Can't stand the stuff.
I'm actually going to go to the shop and get some cream cheese after this. In terms of what I value, I guess I can't really, our values are exactly the same. Actually, so I'm not really going to expand too much, but it's basically whānau. I think my darling covered it very well. At the core of who we are as people and what we strive to be, a lot of the really beautiful lessons and the reason why we are the way we are today is because of our parents. And especially coming into, baby's kicking heaps. It's like I'm running out of breath. especially being expecting parents. All we can do is be just as they are, or just as they were to us, and to uphold the same values and the things that they taught us. And that's what I value, is my little whānau and my darling, of course. He's really the rock of our whare. I don't want to go into all of the gory details, but I don't know where I would be today if it wasn't for the support of my darling throughout this haputanga journey. Oh, I'm getting emotional. Yeah, it's probably been like one of the most difficult things that I've gone through, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally, and just having a really supportive husband and rock, as you mentioned, with just the mundane things of keeping our house in check and doing the dishes and cooking kai. And
if you meet my mum and dad, you'll definitely understand that.
Yeah. You'll be meeting them in a couple of videos coming up. I think at the end of the day, like, you can have all of the money and all of the things and all the experiences and do all the travel, but if you don't have your whānau, then you really don't have anything. So that's what I value, and I'm just really excited to be able to instill the teachings and the things that made us who we are today with our children, and not just from our parents, but our siblings and our grandparents. My darling's very fortunate to still have 2 grandparents that are alive, and we can't wait to go see them on Wednesday. So yeah, I think that's really, at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to, is your family.
Well, there you go, e te whānau. Just a bit of a intro video on who we are, where we come from, and what's important to us. It's more so for you guys to get to know us a little bit more deeply. Definitely seeing more of us in the future. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe, share, and we'll catch you all in the next one. Ka kite anō. Peace!
That was very nice.
Yeah, it was. What do you do, Pips?
Pips was kicking very.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow, that was a big one. Oh.